Huracan or Aventador, which one is the better all-around car? Here's an in-depth comparison of the two so we can find out. Welcome to the channel, I'm MacV, and here we have daily uploads and live streams as well as weekly vlogs so you guys can get a better look at what goes on behind the scenes. If you want more content like this or to race with me on live stream, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So first, I put some rules in place to make this comparison as fair as possible. Both cars are homologated to S-Class 800, focusing on handling. No aero, no body kits or aftermarket wheels, no engine, drivetrain swaps, or forced induction modifications. Finally, both cars will be driven with no assist, but we will be using braking line. When both cars had been fully homologated, we ended up with these figures. The Aventador at S800 has 700 horsepower and 509 pound-feet of torque and weighs a very heavy 3,738 pounds. That power to weight ratio is going to be 1 to 5.34. 1 horsepower for every 5.34 pounds. The attributes for the Aventador, we have 8.5 speed, 5.9 handling, 9.0 acceleration, and 5.8 braking. The Huracan is going to be at S800 as well at 602 horsepower with 413 pound-feet of torque, which is a lot less, but when we factor in the over 700 pound difference at 2,935 pounds, that is where we're going to really see the benefits out of the Huracan. The Huracan's horsepower to weight ratio is 1 to 4.88, so 1 horsepower for every 4.88 pounds of weight. The attributes for the Huracan, we have the speed at 8.0, so slower than the Aventador. 6.1 handling, which is much better than the Aventador. 9.1 acceleration, a little bit better, and then 6.0 braking, again, much better. Test 1 was a simple drag race. We did the quarter, then the half, and then finally a 1 mile drag race to really test what these cars could do in a straight line. All the drag races were performed on the test track airfield. On each strip, we did 3 runs and took the best run from each. So in the quarter mile, the Lamborghini Huracan beat out the Aventador by a measly 0.05 seconds, running a personal best of 10.061 seconds, where the Aventador ran a very close 10.111 seconds. In the half, not too much had changed as the Huracan took the W again with a time of 15.917 seconds compared to the Aventador at 15.967. On the 1 mile strip is where things really began to change. The Lamborghini Aventador won convincingly in the mile, and we can assume that gap will broaden as that distance increases. The Aventador ran at 25.643 compared to the Huracan's time of 25.844. Overall, the Aventador lost test 1 to the Huracan, as the quarter mile and half mile are going to be much more valuable on majority of racetracks. Test number 2 took both cars to Rio de Janeiro full circuit, a track that contains many high-speed and low-speed turns, changes in elevation, and even changes in terrain. I chose Rio because it is great to test any car's consistency and forgiveness to errors, as well as being a great overall track, requiring speed and handling. My results for the test were actually quite shocking. First, I ran 5 laps in the Huracan and ran a best lap of 2 minutes and 18.5 seconds. The car felt very heavy, and I was nervous to take out the Aventador, which has a whopping 785 pounds on the Huracan. But after the first lap, the car actually felt quite drivable, and I was able to get through all 5 laps with no major accidents and put down fairly consistent lap times. The Aventador's performance was both surprising and expected at the same time. I had already drove the Huracan on 2 different tracks. We will get into those tracks shortly, but that gave me a chance to warm up. This may have played a factor, but at the start of lap 1 in the Aventador, I was on pace to beat the Huracan's lap time, hitting the apex as well and having a lot of success with the big, heavy Aventador. but the Aventador proved to be less forgiving of a car. Missing apexes and late turn-ins easily led to hitting a wall and really slowing lap times. When it was all said and done, lap 1 surprisingly was the best lap at a time of 2 minutes and 19.9 seconds. The Aventador proved to be fast on the track, but also very unforgiving to errors, and overall lost out in Test 2 at Rio. Test 3 took place on a track much more favorable to the Aventador's 700 horsepower naturally aspirated V12 engine at the full circuit alternate on Monza, a true straight line track where cars like the Hennessy Venom really excel. We started off with the Lamborghini Huracan, and it ripped through Monza in a respectable 1 minute and 41.7 seconds. The car felt easy to handle and quite balanced, and again proved to put down some consistent lap times. The Aventador, I was sure, would win out on this track with 98 horsepower and 96 pound-feet of torque on the Huracan, but on a lap where everything went perfect, the Aventador came up short, running a very close 1 minute and 42 seconds, and again lost out on Test 3. In conclusion, the Huracan appears to be the better car, but only narrowly. Where the Huracan really outperforms is its forgiveness to error and ability to put down consistent lap times. The Aventador, although a great car and at times feeling superior, just couldn't provide consistency, and also is just way too heavy to be ranked above the Huracan. If you disagree with my results, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and also let me know what car you like better. If you enjoy, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell, as well as drop a like if you want to see more comparison videos in Forza 7. Remember, no one loves their subs like Mac V. I hope you all had a great Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope your holiday was great, and I'll see you next time.